of World Championship Boxing to be held this Saturday from the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, JIA, Turkey, Al-Sheikh. This great event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, JIA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated, Gold Star Promotions, Gypsy King, K2 Promotions, Boxer, Wasserman Boxing, Boston Boxing, and Sella, along with their great sponsors: Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawuniya, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfidi. A big thanks to those great sponsors. This great event will be shown worldwide and in the UK on DAZN, and also in the UK on TNT Sports Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Let's get the grand arrivals started. Our first two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the WBC International Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from Mexico. He brings a professional record consisting of 10 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 4 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Edgar Ramirez.
I'll tell you what, this is absolutely incredible. Edgar Ramirez would never have seen anything like this. I'll be honest, I've never seen anything like this as he steps off of a plane, a red carpeted plane, to join us here. Incredible scenes, Andy.
It is, because we're used to seeing new things at these events, and as you say, I don't really know what to say, because it's kind of otherworldly, just stepping off this huge aeroplane, and there's a few of them that they built in Boulevard World, in Boulevard City. This is where you go if you're an aeroplane enthusiast.
Absolutely, it's called Boulevard Runway. We're here tonight for all of the grand arrivals. The fighters will be stepping off the plane, joining us. They'll do a quick interview with DAZN up on the carpet. And this is Edgar Ramirez we're looking at. Heavyweight in action on Saturday night. Bit of heavyweight action on the undercard. We're excited about that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what an opportunity, what an experience for a fighter where he is in his career to be on a card like this, soaking it all up.
And he truly is soaking it up as well, Edgar Ramirez.
He's taking a nice slow walk, isn't he? And why not? Why not? This doesn't happen to you every day.
Absolutely not. And listen, even if he doesn't win, a good performance could mean he gets invited back, and he's enjoying it. A little shoulder roll there from Edgar Ramirez up on the stage. Actually boxed Joe Joyce in the amateur days in the World Series of Boxing. I'm sure you were ringside with your popcorn, Andy.
Edgar Ramirez, how does it feel? ¿Cómo se siente estar aquí?
No, pues me siento muy emocionado, muy contento de estar aquí con todo este público, con toda esta gente que me ha recibido muy bien. Y pues muy emocionado, muy feliz.
I'm very happy, I'm very excited because all this audience welcoming me, I'm very excited about this opportunity. With that being said, you will be in the first couple of fights and you're representing Mexico. Not many heavyweights coming from that country. How much pressure do you feel? Obviamente estás entre las primeras peleas y no hay muchos pesos completos que vienen de México. ¿Cuánta presión sufres en este momento?
No, pues es una presión bastante por representar a todo México, a toda mi gente. en los pesos completos. Pues me siento muy feliz, muy contento, vengo a hacer mi trabajo y pues vengo a darlo todo como buen mexicano.
Well, I feel a little bit of pressure because obviously I'm representing our whole country, the country of Mexico, but I'm very excited, very happy to be here, and I'm going to be doing exactly what we all do as Mexicans, which is leave it all on the line. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Muchas gracias y te veo pronto.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Odessa, Ukraine. He brings an undefeated record with 13 wins, 10 of those 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending WBC International Champion, Andriy Rampage Nowitzki.
Here comes the man they call Rampage. Boxed on the Knockout Chaos show back in March. Second fight in Riyadh. He did so well last time out. Got rid of Juan Torres in 3 rounds that night. 29 years old, managed by Igis Klimas. And a good Ukrainian heavyweight, Andy.
He is, and when you're in the kind of position that he's in, where you're managed by the same person who manages the fighter on the top of the bill, you will get opportunities, and so far he's taken them. And what he's looking to do, of course, is just slowly work his way further up the bill, so he's early on in the night again, but if he keeps winning, then he'll climb that ladder. It's a really good spot to be in, and people will look at him and feel like he's lucky because he's a stablemate, but you're a stablemate for a reason. I guess doesn't side just anybody. He'll feel like he has real ability. And if he can put on a good performance, then, as I say, next time he'll be looking to climb up the order a bit.
Absolutely. Well, he's 13-0 now, 10 knockouts. And since that Knockout Chaos knockout that he scored back in March, he has had 3 wins since then. And he'll be looking to get another win this year to end the year on Saturday night as another Ukrainian in action supporting Oleksandr Usyk. Well, let's hear from the man himself.
Hello, Andre. I think I need an apple box. I'm a little too short. Can you handle this? Yeah. Good deal. So welcome back to Saudi Arabia. Welcome back to Riyadh. So let's talk about this. We're closing 2024 with a huge event, huge fight. You're defending not only the fact that you're nice little O, undefeated, but your title. Talk to me about how exciting is it for you to be here in this circumstance?
Hello Riyadh, hello everywhere. Look, this is my second time in Riyadh. I'm so excited. It's a very big show and I'm fighting in this show too. And of course I will be did very good fight and I can show you what I can do with my opponent. December 21.
How much do you know about your opponent?
Just next Mexican guy. I fighting with a lot of Mexican guy, but it's just my next opponent, and I will be did my work for 100%.
There you go. So next Mexican opponent. Thank you very much. Welcome back.
Let's continue our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant IBF International and vacant WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Championships. First, let's welcome, coming to us from Toul, France. He brings an undefeated record with 14 wins, 4 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here is Dylan Force Tranquille Collin.
Well, here comes the unbeaten Frenchman, Dylan Collin. His first fight outside of France. He's a former French light heavyweight champion, 2-time kickboxing world champion. And actually, there's a little bit of family history. René Jacquet was the first WBC world champion from France, and he is a relation of our friend here. Bit of history, Andy.
That is some absolutely top draw research. Really is. But he's unbeaten, isn't he? He's undefeated, and they both are in this fight. Daniel Lapin, who we'll see in a second, he's got an undefeated record, so that's interesting in itself. We may not know much about this guy, but at the same time, he brings that confidence of never having lost a fight. He'll know that he's up against it. He's up against the house guy to an extent, but 2 unbeaten records on the line, it's always good to see.
What do you think's going through his head as he makes his way up here, Matt?
Again, like before, I think the other guys, I think he's trying to just soak it all in, feed off the atmosphere, feed off the energy, and absorb all the, be present in the moment and enjoy the experience. It's too early in the week, I think, to get overly, caught up on your fight and your opponent. You burn too much energy. So I think at this point, where we are in the week, it's just about enjoying it and taking it all in.
Well, he will be taking on Daniel Lapin on Saturday night. Let's hear from Dylan Collin.
Welcome back to Riyadh. So good to have you. So, force tranquil. Can you translate that for me? I believe that's like very tranquil force.
Sorry, my English is very bad.
That's okay. It's better than my French.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. So you've come a long way, and right now, like our partners over there in the studio were saying, the French boxing is in a uprise. We just had an amazing coming out party for a French dude that decided to damage the party for a Mexican fighter. Now it's your turn. How do you feel that's motivating you?
So I'm good to be here. It's a good opportunity for me. Thank you very much, all organization, Turkey, my promoter, and I'm ready. I'm ready for Saturday. It's a raw Saturday for me. It's in the ring, donc. So it's okay.
Well, bonne chance. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. I'll walk you up.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Kyiv, Ukraine. He brings an undefeated record with 10 wins. 4 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Daniel Lapin.
Well, the man making his way down the stairs, all 6 foot sick of him, is Daniel Lapin. Unbeaten in 10 fights, 4 knockouts. The younger brother of Serge Lapin, very much a key part of Oleksandr Usyk's camp. When you see those Usyk training videos, when you see those photos of Usyk, normally Daniel Lapin is somewhere close by.
Always, the bond between the Lapins and Usyk is really, really strong because Sergey, as you mentioned, is always in the corner, and he was Oleksandr's, basically his original sparring partner when he took up boxing. He was there right from the beginning, and I think he actually gave him a bit of a hiding in sparring at an early stage, Sergey Lapin. But you keep your crew tight and you keep the people you trust as close to you as you can, and the ones you've known for the longest and who've never let you down, they're the ones you trust, and that's who they are to him.
Well, he's absolutely huge, is Daniel Lapin. And it doesn't surprise me that Serge Lapin had his way with Oleksandr Usyk once upon a time. The Lapin brothers look like they can handle themselves. Big fellas. Unbeaten, of course, here, Daniel. He boxed on the undercard of the first fight back in May. Did very well that night. It was a first round knockout from what I recall. I think as he soaks in every moment, looks like we're going to get a quick word.
Welcome, Daniel. I believe I have your help here. So this is an outstanding event. 2 titles on the line, both undefeated fighters. How does he feel about this opportunity?
Ну, у тебя сейчас очень ответственный момент, 2 титула на кону, не 2 непобежденных бойца. Что ты сейчас чувствуешь?
Я чувствую, что скоро у одного бойца будет одно поражение, и это не я.
I feel that very soon one of the fighters will have 1 lose, and that will not be me.
Yeah, 1-0's got to go. But you're still closing the year in a great event, and obviously there's heavyweights that are looking at the new upcoming talent. So how does that motivate him?
Как тебя мотивирует то, что ты находишься сейчас здесь, и то, что скоро будет такое событие важное?
Это для меня большая честь. Я прошел очень тяжелый сбор с чемпионом и настроен победить, настроен показать красивый бокс, красивую защиту. Будем работать. Спасибо большое Саудовской Аравии за теплый прием и за то, что вписали мое имя в эту историю.
It's a big opportunity for me. It's a huge and great event for me, and I passed a hard training camp with the champion, and I will try and I will show the good boxing. And thank you for every person who involved in this process of organizers, and thank you to Saudi Arabia for everything that they do for boxing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC International Featherweight Championship. First, we will welcome from Edinburgh, Scotland. His professional record consists of 14 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 11 of his 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former British, Commonwealth, and European champion, Lightning Lee McGregor.
Well, Lightning Lee McGregor there, introduced as a former British, Commonwealth and European bantamweight champion. He did all of that in 10 fights. He raced there very, very quickly indeed. He's overcome a few obstacles. He hasn't had it all completely easy since then, but he believes he is on the right track and that lightning will strike on Saturday night against Isaac Lowe.
He's a really good fighter. He has been for a long time. He was a really good amateur, and he made sensational progress, as you outlined there, as a pro. Had that terrific fight with Cash Farouk. Everybody was set for the rematch, but unfortunately Cash had to retire. But a European, British and Commonwealth champion. That was all at bantamweight, and one thing I could never really understand was how he managed to make bantamweight and stay strong enough to stand up, to be honest with you, let alone win a fight. He's up at featherweight now, and I think it'll do him some good. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's got with those extra pounds on him.
Yeah, there's been plenty of needle in the build-up, and we like that. We like it, Matt. I know maybe you don't like it, I don't know. I like it when the fighters are having a go at each other at pressers. Him and Isaac Lowe have done that.
Dev, I like it when it's legit. I like it when it's legit, and I feel like it's legit between these two.
Absolutely. Well, let's hear from Lightning Lee McGregor.
Thank you, Ade. We're all talking about your smile. How happy are you to be here?
Yeah, so happy. It's a surreal moment, but I'm soaking it up, enjoying it, and really, really excited for the weekend.
Yeah, we saw that beautiful smile as you came from the... Tell me something about the plane.
Unbelievable. You need to be on it to experience it. You can't really explain it. It's just absolutely amazing. Words can't describe it. It's something I've just never ever experienced before, and hopefully it's just the first of many.
And on that note, this is another opportunity for a title. How does that compare, that feeling? You're just very close to getting up in the ring, with that feeling that coming down from an amazing plane into this crowd that's actually waiting for you to fight on Saturday.
It's just amazing, and again, I've got the chance to change myself and my family's life this weekend, and I've put absolutely everything into my training camp. I've left no stone unturned. I'm fully prepared for whatever my opponent brings, and I firmly believe I'm going to come out victorious and bring that belt back home to my daughter.
And just between us, how much lightning do we have in those hands for Saturday?
We'll see on Saturday.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome from Morecambe, England, He brings a professional record consisting of 25 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws, 8 wins. Coming by way of knockout, he is the former Commonwealth and WBC International Champion, Usyk Westgate Warrior Lowe.
Will enter the Westgate Warrior. Once again boxing on the undercard of Tyson Fury, and this time he's in such an important fight. This isn't just him getting a run out, this is him in hard, in tough against Lee McGregor.
It'll probably be the biggest win of his career, I would say. Terms in name and stature of Lee McGregor, what he's achieved, etc. I know he's coming up in weight, but like this would probably be the breakout win, the highlight win of Isaac Lowe's career. So on a massive card, I know he's been on big cards before. Tyson Fury was his mate, and if you can't give your mate a leg up, then it's too bad, isn't it? So fair play to Tyson Fury for doing that time and again with Isaac Lowe. But you know, he wants to prove that he's here on merit, that he's not just here because he's Tyson's pal. And a win against Lee McGregor, that would really put him up there.
Yeah, and he's been speaking with a lot of confidence ahead of this fight. Of course, his only losses have come in high company. Nick Ball and Lopez were the 2 men to beat him, both world champions at featherweight. And now Isaac Lowe, the Westgate Warrior, believes it is his time. Huge fight coming up. Let's hear from Isaac Lowe.
I'm a little partial to that song all night long. That's always a promise that doesn't come through. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I could get dancing to that. I was going to get me dancing shoes on, never mind my boxing gloves. I was going to get dancing shoes on.
There you go. Let's do it. That's a challenge right there.
I think you win.
Perhaps. Let's talk about this training camp getting ready under, obviously, the very watchful eye of a great champion, Tyson Fury. How does that work for you, and how did that motivate you for this opportunity right now?
Yeah, I don't think I need to get much motivated for this fight. I know how big of a fight this is. I know what Lee brings. I know he's a worthy contender. He comes in, he's tough. So this is the biggest fight in my life on Saturday night. I've got to win this belt. I've got to get it for my baby. So there's no way on God's earth I'm going to lose on Saturday night. I'm going to have to get killed in there to lose this fight. So I can't wait. I'm revved up, pumped up, and ready to put a show on for the fans.
Real quick, what do you need to do in particular to make sure you take that title on Saturday?
Just be me. Just go in there and have fun. Streak and destroy.
No dancing shoes?
No dancing shoes, after with.
Okay, so that's a challenge. Afterwards, we'll dance. Thank you.
Make sure now, don't let me down.
I would never do that.
Don't let me down.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Our next fighter competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round international super bantamweight contest. He will be challenging the undefeated Rhys Edwards from Wales. Let's now welcome from Liverpool, England, a 2020 Olympian, now with a professional record of 10 wins, just 1 defeat, 6 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBA International Champion, Peter Blood McGrail.
Well, here is Peter McGrail. Of course, he was scheduled to fight Dennis McCann on this show. Unfortunately, that fight has fallen through, but he has made his way out here regardless, hoping, willing that he would get an opponent. Someone has indeed stepped in. It's an unbeaten fighter in Rhys Edwards. Actually, Peter McGrail's got quite a fight coming up on Saturday now, Andy.
It's amazing, really, that they've managed to get that good an opponent at this kind of notice. It means it'll be at featherweight rather than super bantam, which won't affect him too much, given that he found out at the start of the week. I don't think people really understand how good he is, because in that Tokyo Olympic cycle, him and Pat McCormack were the 2 standouts, but because he didn't do it at the Olympics, he didn't get that much attention, but he did so well as an international amateur. And that 1 defeat, he was absolutely bossing that fight, was winding up for the finish himself, and then just walked onto a right hand that got cleaned out.
And Matt, that can happen, can't it? He was cruising that fight against Jericho Quinn. He just got clipped.
He got clipped. He ain't gonna be he went the first, and he won't be the last person in boxing that's happened to. You don't suddenly become a bad fighter when that happens. If anything, he probably give you a kick on the backside and make you hungrier and want to work even harder. You know. I'm gutted this fight fell through with the Dennis McCann one because I thought it was the pick of the undercard. But you know what? I'm glad that he's still on it.
Hello and welcome, Peter. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yourself?
Much better now that you're here. Because I know there was a last-minute change in your opponent. So how did that fight plan change?
Fight plan, you decide that on the night, but, I remain focused. I believed in my team, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, and everyone involved, Queensberry, Matchroom. I believe in them that they were going to get a replacement, and that's what happened. I stayed focused on the job. Job remains the same, and, I'm coming for a big performance Saturday.
When you have an Olympian pedigree like the one you have, how did that prepare you for these last-minute changes?
Yeah, I've been travelling around the world representing my country for years, and, we don't know until the draw, so there's days where you won't know until you fight. You won't know who you fight until the day before, so it was nothing new. I'm very experienced, and I remain focused, stuck to the plan, what I was going to do if it was my old opponent, and I'm in great shape and looking forward to putting a heavy performance on for you all Saturday.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not.
Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Doncaster, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, 6 defeats, 2 draws, 18 of those 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is known as the Doncaster De La Hoya, David the White Rhino Allen.
I'll tell you what, that nickname always makes me chuckle. The Doncaster De La Hoya Dave Allen has landed here in Riyadh and landed a huge opportunity against a rising British heavyweight in Johnny Fisher. And Dave Allen put together quite a string. 5 years or so ago, he was doing pretty well. He knocked out Lucas Brown. He's lost his way a little bit, but he's making his way back, and a win over Johnny Fisher would be a big statement, Andy.
It would. It absolutely would. He seems calmer now. Looking at walking to the carpet, he's not getting carried away with anything. He's got a good team behind him, and Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. They wouldn't be working with him if they didn't think he was capable of doing something. He's up against it against Johnny Fisher because Fisher's a fighter on the rise. But if he's not quite there, if he's not quite what people have been saying, if there's something a little bit missing, then Dave Allen is good enough to find him out.
Dave Allen, at 32 years old, seems to think that maybe he can old man Johnny Fisher. That seems to be one of the questions going in. Johnny Fisher, very unexperienced. Let's hear from the White Rhino.
How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, you got to run this by me again. Doncaster De La Hoya. Run that by me again?
Yeah, when I first started boxing as a kid, everyone said I bear a resemblance to Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy. And because I'm in Doncaster, obviously, it just kind of stuck, the Doncaster De La Hoya. So, yeah, here we are.
Okay, De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Not De La Hoya, De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Just a few pounds heavier. How do you feel coming to Riyadh and, making this the opportunity to establish yourself in this division?
Yeah, very fortunate to be here. Yeah, very grateful. It's a massive opportunity. And I guess one at my age, I wasn't sure would come, but it's here now, and I plan to take it with both hands.
There you go. There you have it. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, I enjoyed Dave Allen explaining how the nickname Doncaster De La Hoya came from, and then having a little back and forth with Claudia up there about the pronunciation. Fantastic stuff, Andy.
You don't get that in other fight weeks, do you? It's great fun, Dave Allen.
Yeah.
As you said, 5-6 years ago, he was kind of at his peak, and I remember him knocking out Nick Webb at the O2, which was a massive win for him, and then that win against Lucas Brown. And he's taken some incredibly hard fights. You know, those defeats coming against the likes of Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, Tony Yoka, David Price, Fraser Clark. I mean, he's really taken on some tough jobs, so you can't begrudge him any opportunity he gets. You just can't.
But he's tough. He's so tough. We've seen him in camp with Oleksandr Usyk, right? He's been in camp with everyone. There must be a reason why he gets in those camps and invite him back. He does have some talent. Big chance for him on Saturday.
Yeah, look, he's tough, but he has got ability as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes maybe a lack of ambition or maybe a lack of self-belief just held him back a little bit. But, you know, he's a character. Boxing needs characters. It gives value for money, and he can spring the upsets up. You know, Andy mentioned the Nick Webb fight. That was a brilliant win for him way back. So, you know, if he's got ambition, you know, he could spring the upset.
This does feel like one of those fights where we just find out where Johnny Fisher is. It's one of those measuring sticks fights. That's how they'd be looking at it if you're on the Johnny Fisher side. He hasn't done too many rounds so far, Johnny Fisher. This could be the man to take him rounds.
Yeah, he could be, because they've been stepping Johnny up and he's done everything that's been asked of him. He had a good win against Harry Armstrong. He won an area title. Then they stepped him up against Alan Babbage, and the idea was that Alan Babbage would give him a bit of a test, and it just never happened because he caught him in the first 10-15 seconds and all of a sudden the fight was over. So there were still question marks there. And that's just inevitable. And if you're Team Fisher, if you're Mark Tibbs, I think you're kind of hoping that he gets asked a few by Dave Allen.
There's got to be question marks for a while for Johnny Fisher, because he's very much learning on the job. He didn't have a big amateur pedigree behind him, but he's a popular kid. He gives you everything he's got. He's exciting to watch, and it's a good story. And Dave Allen's the right fight at the right stage in his career.
There's a feeling that Johnny Fisher is now who Dave Allen was a few years ago. And actually, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is now making his way to watch the rest of the grand arrivals. Absolutely fantastic to have him here. I'm sure he'll be across all of Fight Week. Hey, these fights wouldn't be happening if he wasn't getting involved. So just a big thank you from me, really, and probably a thank you from you as well, Andy, and you, Matt.
Yeah, everybody. Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. There's no hiding from the fact, should anybody want to, which they shouldn't, that this is all happening because of his input and the huge input from Frank and George Warren there too, because we keep getting these cards, and then look at the one we've got in February. I mean, that is absolutely absurd, that card. It's so good.
Well, that's definitely up the ante, hasn't it? That February card's outrageous.
It is relentless. It's big fight after big fight after big fight. And every time they release a fight card, we're like, oh my God, that's the best fight card ever. And then they release a promo, and we're like, oh my God, that's the best promo ever.
You look at that February card and you just think, well, that's pay-per-view finish for anyone else now. How'd you find that?
I'm not sure that you can. As His Excellency takes his seat, Thomas Schreiber gets into position. Let's hear from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very honored to have joining us here today His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turki Al-Sheikh. And now let's welcome from Romford, London, England. He is undefeated with 12 wins, 11 of those 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Johnny, the Romford Bull Fisher.
Well, from Romford to Riyadh, here comes the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher, making his way to the stage, making his way down those steps. He doesn't look out of place at all. He'll bring an army of Bosch fans with him on Saturday, and he'll be hoping to really do a job and make a statement against Dave Allen.
Yeah, and he's moving nicely, 12-0. This is his 13th fight. Like I said, I think Dave Allen is the right fight at this stage in his career.
Very popular heavyweight, sells an awful lot of tickets. Just ask Eddie Hearn about his tickets, but it's turning into more than that. It's not just a big ticket seller. There's ability there, there's talent there, there's power, and there's world rankings. They're starting to get behind the Romford Bull, Andy.
And there's also a really good attitude and a level head and a good team. And he's one of these people who is grounded enough and intelligent enough to take it step by step. He's got that fan base, and that's massive. It's so important. But he knows that there is work to be done, and he's more than willing to do it. And step by step, that's the way to do it. It's a step at a time.
Absolutely. Absolutely that, as he shadow boxes on the stage. I'm just looking out to see where his father is, Big John Fisher. Well, let's hear, maybe we'll get the answer now.
Hey.
Hello.
And that was a long flight.
It was.
Did you get some Chinese food?
I didn't this time. I've been on a strict no Chinese diet, but my dad, Big John's on his way, and he'll be clearing up all the chicken balls.
There you go. With that being said, 12-0, 11 of those wins coming by way of knockout. How much pressure do you feel that you need to finish this fight before the last bell?
The only pressure that I apply is the pressure I apply to myself and my family and my team around me. All of the rest of it is enjoyment, it's exposure, and all I've got to do is do my job and listen to the people in my corner, and that'll be good.
So just between you and I, what's your prediction for this fight?
My prediction is victory at all costs. No matter how it comes, I've got to win, and this incredible journey gets to continue, and I'm on the biggest stage in the world. It's fantastic to be here. It's an honor to be a part of it.
And with that being said, you are in the biggest stage, closing 2024, a fantastic year for boxing, thanks to everything that's happening here, Riyadh season. So how does that motivate you to keep going at that streak?
Yes, Riyadh season's been amazing. It's been fantastic as a fan to watch it. All thank you to His Excellency for putting on these fantastic shows. But my job, I'm the fighter, and one thing I can deliver is action, adventure, and I try and get a knockout every single time I fight. So I'll be looking for that, no doubt.
Can't wait to see you on Saturday. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 6-round international super featherweight contest. We will first welcome, coming to us from Cúcuta, Colombia. He is a veteran of 46 professional bouts. Let's welcome Joshua Ocampo.
Well, Joshua Ocampo will be in action on Saturday night. 31-year-old Colombian based in Valencia, Spain. Most of his fights do take place in the UK these days. Was last in action at York Hall. He boxed the unbeaten Jermaine Jlewayo. And of course, Jermaine Jlewayo, you may recognise that name, is the nephew of Derek Chisora. So he's been in good company, Andy.
Again, that is absolute peak research. That is peak Sardi research. But it's good to see these away corner fighters get the call, because these bills, like any other bill, yes, there are massive fights where it's A-side against A-side, but there are also fights where you need fighters like him, and they're so important to the boxing business that when I see a dyed-in-the-wool away corner fighter who travels the world, making money the hard way, get a call for one of these cards, it really makes me smile, because they work as hard as anybody.
Tell you what, he looks serious though. He looks like he's here and ready for a fight. And yeah, I've never seen away corner fighters celebrated as much as they've been by Riyadh season. Let's hear from him.
Thank you, Joshua. From Cúcuta to the world, your first impression about this incoming into this event. De Cúcuta al mundo. ¿Qué se siente hacer esta entrada aquí en Riyadh?
¿Qué se siente hacer esta entrada? Es increíble. Es impresionante. It's amazing. It's a really, really great opportunity for us as a Colombian boxers to be here, because I don't know, I came here so excited, so all these beautiful people, this beautiful country, and I'm just freezing about it.
I don't think I need to say anything else. Congratulations and thank you.
And now let's welcome, undefeated with one victory, he hails from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Here is Mohammed Alakel.
Well,
Well, Mohamed Alakel, very much a Riyadh man through and through, made his debut here on the Artur Beterbiev Dmitry Bivol show. This is fight number 2. He did well that night, of course, picked up the win. Trained by Joe Gallagher and has a dream to become a world champion and represent Riyadh. And Matt, you know him, him from, of course, the Gallagher camp. Good kid.
Yeah, I do, yeah. I've seen him train. I've watched him up there in Manchester with Joe Gallagher in Joe's Champs camp, and I've seen his pro debut as well. He was pretty impressive, well scored for someone who's had so few fights, amateur fights, inexperienced really, well schooled, kept his composure, and it's such a big card in Riyadh, his home, home, Saudi Arabia's home, his home country. It was you'd imagine emotions were in a high section, but he really held his nerve, held his composure, boxed really well.
Well, welcome, Mohamed. So good to have you here. You're already going into your second professional bout. You're in your backyard representing Riyadh and opening the event. How much pressure do you feel right now?
No pressure, I'm very happy and excited. I can't wait. I got my first pro debut over and done with. It should be light work now.
There you go. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Left hand is looking all crispy, right hand pouring a drink, it's risky. Roll past so you're rolling with me, till I hate move along swiftly.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest will be for the WBO Intercontinental and vacant WBA International Heavyweight Championships. Let's first welcome from Gold Coast, Australia. His professional record, 22 wins, just 1 defeat, 14 of those 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former Australia, former WBO Asia Pacific, and former IBF Intercontinental Champion, Dempsey the Tower McKee.
Well, here comes the man they call the Tower. 6'6" southpaw Australian heavyweight Dempsey McKee takes on Moses Itauma on Saturday night, and on paper he is by far the toughest test of Moses' career. This is a man who has his own ambitions, his own dreams of becoming a world heavyweight champion. He's spoken with a lot of belief, and he believes it's just too early for Moses.
Exactly that, like you just said there, he's got his own plan here, and I think a fire burns inside of him, because athletes from Australia and New Zealand, apart from dry off attire, are generally quite laid back and easy going, aren't they? But he looks at this, I'm sure, and thinks, listen, I know you think you know what's going to happen here. I know what the plan is here, that I might give your man, the next star, the anointed one, a few rounds, and then he'll get me out of there. But I've got news for you. I'm an experienced fighter, I'm a tough fighter, I'm a strong fighter. That is not what's going to happen.
And he is also a fighter that has had an entire camp dedicated to Moses Itauma. He's not just a fighter that got a phone call. Let's hear from the Tower.
Talk about being a Tower. Obviously, perspective is everything. Welcome. It's so good to have you here. Now we have 2 titles on the line on an evening full of stars, specifically our main event being heavyweights. How does that motivate you?
Yeah, obviously I want to contend for a world title myself, so coming away with a big win here against Moses is going to propel me into a world title fight. So, all eyes on Moses first. Come Saturday night, I need to come away with a good performance, look good doing so, and make sure I get another return invite here on the beautiful Riyadh season.
How important is it for you to make a statement on Saturday?
It's everything, coming off a loss in my last fight, against Herkovic for a final eliminator, so I want to get straight back into the top, and, Moses has a world ranking that I want and I need, and it's going to propel me into big fights.
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to say a big thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting us on and putting another amazing show on. So, you're doing great things for boxing, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
You blowing money fast on this side.
And now let's welcome from Chatham, Kent, England. He had a stellar amateur career, and now as a professional is undefeated with 10 wins. 8 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO Intercontinental Champion, Moses Itelmo.
Well, this is a real glimpse into the future. There is a feeling that when this current crop of heavyweights retires, this will be the man to carry the heavyweight division forward. Just 19 years old, unbeaten as an amateur, unbeaten as a pro, but in the toughest fight of his career on paper on Saturday night.
It is on paper. Experience Dempsey McCain has. You'd imagine he's going to take this guy into deep waters of problems, but at the same tune, I wouldn't be shocked if it ended early, because this kid is really something special. Not just got the power, he's got the ability, the timing, the skill set. He's got the lot. From what I've seen, anyway.
He does appear to have everything. Dismantled Marius Wack within a couple of rounds. Did it in a way that no one's done it. Some people were calling him a heavyweight Manny Pacquiao. He's big, he's southpaw, looks the part, and just looks at home on the big stage, Andy.
He does, absolutely. Marius Wack was supposed to take him a few rounds, but he looked like he'd seen a ghost.
So welcome. So good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, Frank Warren, George Warren for putting on this amazing show. I love being part of the Riyadh season once again. This is my 4th time here and I love it.
Well, we love to have you here, and this time your title is on the line. Yep. And once again, our very smart and very savvy gentlemen are saying you're basically already looked upon as being the next Anthony Joshua or the first Isaac. How does that feel?
I mean, it is nice to compare yourself against a 2-time heavyweight world champion. Obviously, I haven't proved nothing yet, but it's nice to hear these things. But everybody's on their own path, and I'm here to set my own path also.
Well, we look forward to seeing that path develop. Thank you very much. Good luck on Saturday.
I'm the alpha and the omega, the star player, you're a liar, big capper, a pump faker, seen you around, but you're never involved, a spectator, you see the spirit of ecstasy, this is a bentaker.
Well, that was interesting. Of course, being compared as a potential future Anthony Joshua. I'll tell you what though, I don't think he's a future Anthony Joshua. I think that's the first Moses Itelmo. I think he could really set a benchmark if he fulfills all the potential that he has.
Agreed, and he's got rock solid self-belief. I half expected him then to politely say, I appreciate the comparison, but I think I'm going to do better than Anthony Joshua.
Competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It is a eliminator for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. We will first welcome, coming to us from Leeds, Yorkshire, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 13 wins, just 1 defeat. 6 of his 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Ishmael, the Black Panther, David.
Well, stay in the gym, stay in shape, keep your phone on, and don't give up. And you might get a call. Ishmael Davis keeps getting that call and keeps saying, yes, please.
Another opportunity, and it's come because he does stay in the gym, stay ready, keep your weight down, and be ready for the call when it comes, and it's come, and he's answered it again. And man, you know, this time he might go that little bit further and get the upset.
Well, of course, he will be taking on Sergey Bohachuk. Bohachuk was scheduled to take on Israel Madrimov. Madrimov had to withdraw. He's no longer fighting. He's just stumbled there. Not a great sign for Ishmael Davis, but he's gone from fighting Israel to Ishmael, and he stepped in just like he stepped in against Josh Kelly at Wembley Stadium. Keep your phone on, Andy.
Absolutely, it's a very different kind of challenge this, and that's what really interests me, because with Kelly, he knew he would have to track him, he would have to chase him to an extent, keep the faith that he would get to him, which he did do right towards the very end of the fight. With Bohachuk, it's going to be right in front of him, walking him down from the off. So it's a completely different fight. You couldn't have 2 more different opponents, you really couldn't.
It's a fantastic fight. I think we're going to hear from Claudia, who joins Ishmael Davis.
This is a man on a mission with a lot of things that he wants to do right. What is it that you need to do on Saturday to make sure you have no regrets?
I just need to show everyone who I am. They've only seen a little bit, but on Saturday night, you're going to see who I truly am. Against a tough opponent, he's going to come forward and he's going to bring the best out of me.
And we look forward to seeing that. Thank you so much. See you Saturday.
And now let's welcome a native of Vinnytsia, Ukraine, now fighting out of Los Angeles, California, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 23 of those 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC interim super welterweight champion of the world, Serhiy El Flaco Bohachuk.
Well, here is Serhiy Bohachuk, heavy-handed Ukrainian tough man, coming off a majority decision loss to the brilliant Virgil Ortiz in August. But he had Ortiz over a couple of times, had him in all sorts of trouble in that fight, and he believes, along with a few others, that he should have got the nod that night. Was meant to be fighting Israel Madrimov on this card. Madrimov had to withdraw. He's got Ishmael Davis on Saturday, but he's a talented fighter, Andy.
He is. It was a hell of a fight against Virgil Ortiz, and what's been good is that, yeah, okay, he didn't get the decision, but it hasn't seen his stock drop. He got a big opportunity straight away again. As you say, he thought he was going to be Madrimov. Now it's Ishmael Davis. He won't really care because he'll know that good performance here, and it's winner stays on, isn't it? We'll probably see him again, and he's really good to watch.
And we've got to be honest, this is a tough fight for Davis.
Absolutely it is. It really is. He'll be under no illusions about that either.
I'll tell you what, one thing we are witnessing with these Riyadh season shows, if there are pullouts, if there are injuries, replacements tend to come in. The fights don't fall off. Peter McGrail came out here not knowing if he was going to fight or not, but banked on it happening. He got his wish. Peter McGrail fights. Serhiy Bohachuk, he fights as well. And there is Oleksandr Usyk poking his head out of an aeroplane. What scenes here in Riyadh, Andy Clark?
I wonder if he could fly a plane. I wouldn't be surprised if he can, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if he can at all.
He can do just about everything else. I think listen, we may well be about to take off. He may take all of us with us.
Long time no see. May I just push over just a tad bit so I can get the camera? There you go. So, pressure, but there's a lot more. What can we expect of you on Saturday?
Big show coming up for me. Good fight coming up. I'm ready. It will be interesting. I'm show my fans. I show Ukrainian fans and interesting and very, very interesting boxing.
Well, we look forward to seeing you box and put pressure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday, it is a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBO heavyweight championships of the world. Let's first welcome the challenger from England. His professional record consists of 34 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 24 of those 34 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former lineal, the former unified, and the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Well, here comes the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. For the first time in a long time, he is the challenger. For the first time in a long time, he's the underdog. And for the first time ever, he enters a fight week with a loss on his record. But there has been a menace about him this week. There has been a meanness. The beard is longer than ever. He looks ready to go to me, Andy Clark.
He absolutely does, but that sense of humour is still there. You could see him as he came down the steps, just mimicking the fact that he might be about to trip over. And believe me, that long flight of stairs, that will have given heart palpitations to Spencer Brown and also to Egis Klimas and to the manager or trainer of every fighter on the card, Matt, because walking down that long flight of stairs from the top of the plane to the tarmac, I mean, anything can happen. You just want them to get to the bottom in one piece.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nightmare, isn't it? If you're one of the organisers, one of the managers, the promoters, you just don't want anything happening now. We're here now, you know, we don't want this week any slip of the ankle or anything.
Well, Tyson Fury, a little bit of shadow boxing on the stage. We're going to hear from him very shortly, from Claudia, who's been brilliant on the interviews tonight. Let's hear from the Gypsy King.
Gypsy King is here, the biggest show in town. How does it feel to be back in Riyadh?
The only show in town, the Gypsy King. Get up.
How different is it this time?
Pretty much the same. Biggest event of my life. So yeah, pretty much the same. One biggest event to the next biggest event. Looking forward to putting on the show, as always.
You look very lean. How much of your weight today is your beard?
Yeah, a lot of my weight's my beard. It's giving me strength like Samson.
There you go. What can we expect different in round number 13?
I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to give Turkey what I promised him in May, a cooked rabbit in his kitchen.
We're looking
my promise, my promise.
You promise that tonight?
Yeah.
We look forward to the weigh-in. We look forward to the workout. What is your favorite moment of this whole week?
Favorite moment is getting my hand raised on Saturday night. And the new!
There you have it. Thank you so much. And of course, we're going to have a whole week of celebrations. I look forward to chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that promise persists as he speaks with Turki Al Sheikh. There, His Excellency, they had a wonderful FaceTime call that was released across social media. Frank Warren, George Warren, but that FaceTime call was very amusing. His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh and Tyson Fury agreed that they needed a rabbit. They had room for a rabbit, and they wanted to cook the rabbit. The rabbit they have in mind is Oleksandr Usyk.
I think most neutral fans will probably want Fury to win because they were tied up at one apiece. And given how good that first fight was and how good I'm sure this second fight will be, the prospect of a trilogy is absolutely mouth-watering. It really is. But interesting that Fury's is talking about a knockout, promising a knockout. He knows in his own mind that you can't promise any such thing, but it's maybe just an indicator of where he's at mentally, because I think he will feel, watching that first fight back, that through 6 rounds he had Usyk where he needed him and he took his foot off the gas. And if he can get him there again but keep his foot on the gas, that he can stop him.
Yeah, Tyson Fury most certainly had his moments, plenty of success in that first fight. Let's introduce the champion, Oleksandr Usyk. Let's head over to Thomas Treiber.
And now let's welcome the defending world champion from Ukraine, a 2012 Olympic gold medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 22 wins, 14 of those 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated, former undisputed world champion. And this Saturday night, the reigning and defending WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBO heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
Well, here comes the enigmatic, charismatic, super talented Oleksandr Usyk. He was undisputed at cruiserweight. He stepped up to heavyweight. He said, I want to be undisputed at heavyweight. He beat Anthony Joshua twice, Daniel Dubois, and most recently Tyson Fury to sweep up all of the belts in the marquee division. He's some man for one man.
And my estimation of him has gone up because he's obviously a fan of Technotronic, Pump Up the Jam. I mean, this is a great song to come into as well, it really is. And just look at the get-up there. He's a man for the big occasion, isn't he? He's a showman.
He's the main character. He's got main character energy, Matt.
Big time, big time. He's walking to the red carpet now and up onto the stage like a king.
Has he borrowed that from your wardrobe, Andy?
Funny you should say that. We had a chat this afternoon about it.
I feel very underdressed. I didn't get the memo.
It's a good thing you didn't wear yours, Andy. You would have clashed. Let's hear from the champion.
I know. Welcome. So good to have you here. Dapper. Let's talk about this outfit. Thank you, our dear friend. Can we explain? This is just absolutely fantastic.
Можеш пояснити? Абсолютно фантастичний вигляд.
I do like. It's my designer, Gasanova from Ukraine. I too like.
Well,
Thank you, Elvira.
Elvira, does it come in extra small? I'm just saying. So, look at this. All waiting for you. Big show. You feel?
Yeah, I'm very feel. Hello, Riyadh. I'm happy to be here again, Mr. Turki. Thank you so much. See you 21st December. I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
We just had Tyson Fury a few minutes ago, and he promised His Highness that he was going to knock you out on round number 13. What do you have to say about that?
Сказав Тайсон, що переможе тебе нокаутує в 13-му раунді.
It's only разговоры. Talks. It's only talks. Listen. We'll see. It's God's will.
There you go. Now, with that being said, at this point in time, all the eyes are on you. The biggest show, not just here, but the world is watching. We're closing 2024 with this main event. How does that make you feel?
Закриваємо 24-й рік твоїм поєдинком. Що ти відчуваєш?
It will be great fight. I feel good. What I feel I win.
You feel? Yeah. There you go. So we're looking forward to this main event. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And of course, thank you for the translation. Back to you, Ade. Thank you.